Hi, this is episode 11 of Clobbering Time with Craig, and today, replacing Chris, I have Samantha. Hello! Chris can't be on today because one, he's basically fractured his shoulder at donut. He's a bit of a disaster. He'll probably be on next week anyway. First I'm going to talk about, we went to last night, me, Samantha, Karen and Nicole went to see An Evening with JR, and in the first half of the show, it started about 7:30, for about an hour. It was basically talking about how he got started in the business, and how he basically only made about $125 a week, wasn't it? It was a week,
yeah.
Yeah. And his first wife wasn't really a fan of wrestling, so that didn't go too down well, being involved in wrestling, plus the fact he was only making $125 a week. So that didn't go down well with his first marriage. He was talking about how he was driving on the road with, what was the bloke's name that was with the gun and all that? Do you remember what his name was?
McGurk?
McGurk, I think it was, yeah.
I can't remember.
He used to drive him about, and basically his daughter was dating $1 Million Man Teddy Biossi. He wasn't known, he was just known as Teddy back then. But yeah, and he had this ruling of his daughter not dating wrestlers, and she basically was dating Teddy, and he wanted to go and shoot Teddy in the hotel, and wanted JR to help him, which didn't go down too well. But yeah, they managed to, I think they knocked him out with drink, didn't they, basically, to stop him doing it.
Just keep him drinking.
So they could get the gun from him. He had a few moments like that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't want to use him as an accomplice. Yeah, he was talking about his early stages, how he getting into the business and all that, basically through the back door, he said. And then the second half of the show was a Q&A where all the fans could basically ask questions. One guy asked about what he thought of Adrian Neville and Paige. He said as long as they stay healthy and keep fit, that they should have a promising career. It was what he said, wasn't it?
Yeah, he said also like with relationships, having trouble with them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he was saying basically, he was saying at one point, if you can't solve someone's problem, you can't solve the problem, in other words, get rid of it, or something like, in other words, if you can't sort out someone's problem, you get rid of them, basically, along those lines, wasn't it? What was a few of the other, do you remember what some of the other
There was one
were?
saying about his highlight, because he was talking about the toga with Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh yes, WrestleMania 9. Bobby Heenan said basically to him, the best way to get noticed by Vince is to go, what was it he called
Commando.
it? Commando, as they call it. It's, in other words, nothing underneath the outfit he had to wear. So JR called up Gorilla Monsoon to ask him if that was right, and or spoke to him in person, was it in Gorilla Monsoon's words, like, "Will you stop?" Just, you can just vision it, can't you? Because he used to say it to Bobby Heenan. And then when JR said that he got the, he was told that by Bobby Heenan, he basically stopped him there and said, "Don't ever listen to anything Bobby Heenan tells you." I think he's basically pulling a prank on them all or something like that. But yeah,
I can imagine he was quite a prankster though, back in the day.
Oh yeah, I can imagine him doing that. Cause you imagine how embarrassing that would have been if he had done it. But yeah, basically he didn't go commander that day. But it was the first time he got to work with Bobby Heenan, wasn't it, he said. And also the Macho Man. What was his words for Macho Man? Unique.
Yeah. I think it was unique.
Yeah, it was something like unique, in other words, that he's quite out there, Randy Savage, when it comes to his commentary. Yeah, that was quite funny. He was also asked about who he was glad to see the back of, which unfortunately he wouldn't answer. 'Cause I get the feeling there was quite a few of them, but he didn't want to name any names.
I don't blame him though, because it could easily get back to the person.
Oh yeah, I think he just wanted to leave things in the past, didn't want to. But I could just imagine who some of them were, like Ultimate Warrior, because I know Ultimate Warrior was very loved by people backstage. I'd imagine there's probably quite a few well-known ones, I can imagine.
Probably Hulk Hogan.
Maybe, I'm not sure what his relationship is with Hulk Hogan, but possibly. What other questions were there asked?
They was talking about being in creative for a bit when he got fired. Went and worked in creative before going back to announcing. Yeah. So he was saying about how there's certain wrestlers. Oh no, it was about what wrestler he would see in creative in the future, and he said Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk. Yeah.
But obviously, he said like it's a lot different paid. Like,
yeah, they make less money basically than Punk would when he basically now make less money.
But he said there was quite a few of them.
I wouldn't mind CM Punk doing that actually, because you'd get the lights, the people with ability, a bit like Antonio Cesaro. They would actually get an opportunity, and people like that. Yeah, was there any other? I can't remember all of the. Some of them weren't the best of questions, were they?
No.
There were no controversial ones.
Especially when you said that one was the Raw WrestleMania. The Austin and Bret Hart one.
Yeah, he was talking about the Bret Hart Steve Austin match, where I think Bret Hart won, where they basically stopped the match because Austin lost consciousness. And he was saying about how he had to, because Austin was becoming the babyface at night, and how he had to get Austin over the fact that he never gave up, and that he just basically couldn't continue. And he also was asked about SummerSlam as well, what he thought of was his favourite match. And he was saying how Cena Daniel Bryan was a good match, but he thought the match of the night with Brock Lesnar against CM Punk.
Yeah, because he said about that. He said that John Cena and Daniel Bryan had everything in it, like to maybe a great match. Because it was, the question was, what did he think of the two main events?
Yeah.
And he said like he had that potential, but for him it was Punk versus Lesnar.
Yeah, it was a standout match of all of them.
Which was quite good though, because he got quite a beat down.
Yeah, overall it was a good night. They were selling some of the merchandise out the back, and I got Jim Ross' programme and got him to sign it. I was trying to get as close enough for you to read it. He put to Craig and put Jim Ross, Hall of Famer. It's a good little read. There's a few comments in there from William Regal, well, a couple of pages worth, where he talks about JR. And also at the back there's an article from Michael Cole about him. And I know Regal's doing the show in November, but it's in Manchester, but I'm hoping next year, in April, he'll come over to London, because I enjoy these sort of things, and hopefully the likes of Jerry Lawler and a few others will start doing it. If not, even Steve Austin might one day. Also, I bought this shirt at the back, the Rob Van Dam shirt, which I stupidly forgot to get at Summerslam. So that was lucky for me, saved me the postage of WA shop. Do you want to pass me your shirt as well? Samantha bought CM Punk shirt, knees to face. Yeah, they had a few. Who else they had? They had AJ, they had Dolph Ziggler. They had some DVDs as well. They had Joe's Barbecue.
And they had the women's shirts there as well. Was it Paul Heyman's?
They had women's sizes. They had the Paul Heyman shirt, yeah, but actually had some shirts in women's sizes, which makes a change. But afterwards, basically had the signings for people who had VIP. Hopefully the photos will be up later on, it should be any time now. But basically we got our WrestleMania programme in encyclopedia signed. Do you want to hold it up, since it's your programme? Samantha got that signed by, of course, that's it, JR. And then this big monster of a book, which weighs a ton. God help taking this to WrestleMania, it's going to be fun. Signed by JR there. And basically I asked him, when I went up there, I asked him basically how Jerry Lawler's health was. And he said he's doing good, he's getting regular checkups, which is a good thing, and he's doing well at the moment. So I said to him, that was, he had us all worried that night. Yeah, he's always willing to answer any questions you ask him. And what did you ask him?
I asked him, being the Punk fan that I am, wanted to ask if he actually thinks that Punk versus Austin would happen at WrestleMania. And he wasn't really sure, because he said that Austin needs at least like 4 months to build up. And obviously he's doing other stuff, so... But he did turn and say that he could surprise us. So you never know, in other words. It could happen, it couldn't happen. He doesn't really know if it would. Because I thought with him knowing Austin quite well, I wondered if he would actually know.
The thing is, even if he does, I'm not sure he'd fully be able to tell you, because he might You know, if they might be sending him to...
But then he said, like, if he ever did have one more match, he'd want it to be with Punk anyway.
The thing is, it's so early now. You could end up waiting until as long as January, February to know.
Well, let's face it, he was in grown-ups until we saw it tomorrow. So he's doing loads of stuff. But yeah, I'm fingers crossed that it does happen.
By the way, to anyone who hasn't seen Grown Ups yet, Steve Austin is in the film.
We're not going to give anything away.
Yeah, it's funny though, but it's a very good film. It's definitely well worth seeing. Yeah, hopefully we'll get that match at WrestleMania. Yeah, that was what we got signed, the merchandise we got, everything. Yeah, it was a good night overall, and he's hoping to do it again one day. I know he's in Manchester tonight, and then Glasgow tomorrow. He finishes tomorrow, yeah. So hopefully there'll be another one like that with like maybe Jerry Lawler or someone like Michael Cole.
Everyone should go. It's really good.
Oh yeah, it's well worth going. And,
especially the meet and greets as well, because he's really, really nice.
I'm hoping JBL would do it as well, so I can imagine some of these views would be quite controversial and interesting. He's a character, JBL. So
especially when he left as well, like what he did. Like his stock market and stuff. It'd be quite interesting.
And also with his recent climbs that he's done with Kilimanjaro and all that stuff. You know, I'd love to see do that is CM Punk, where he could just be totally honest about everything. Tell it how it is. It would be so good to listen to, because you can just imagine. You can imagine some of the comments he'd probably be throwing at the crowd as well, wouldn't they?
I wish that he, you know, he did his screening, the screening of his DVD in Chicago.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome to go to, because you can go into we did a Q&A session.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I'd love for him to do one of these stand-up like that over here, because it'd be brilliant, especially with the Q&A bits, because it'd be so... These stories he could probably come out with if he was able to be honest.
Plus he's so honest, and he doesn't care, and if, like, your stupid question, he'll probably tell you it's stupid.
Yeah. Mind you, he probably likes daft questions, doesn't he? He seems to get a kick out of that.
Well, he only kind of the way sometimes he responds to people on Twitter who are stupid.
He gets a rise out of it. He likes to have a go at people, doesn't he? It seems to basically get him going. He likes that. Yeah, that was JR. If we briefly talk about SummerSlam, what you thought of SummerSlam since you watched it?
Good. I quite liked it.
You thought the best match was Lesnar, didn't you?
Yeah. It was good.
I knew Lesnar was going to win though, because Lesnar's an animal.
But yeah, there was times though when there was
points
like
where
Punk
it looks
was
like
win.
Yeah, it looked like Punk might make him tap at one point.
Yeah, and I was just like on the edge of my seat going, oh my god, come on, tap. Yeah, but
I thought it was funny as well when he grabbed hold of Heyman's tie.
Yeah.
He's like,
and then Brock's like telling Heyman to go down. It's like, no,
he's like, I can't. He's holding me.
It's like he'll strangle me.
I was surprised Curtis Axel didn't get involved.
Yeah, I was expecting.
But in a way, I was glad there was no, apart from Heyman, there's no interference, because it didn't really need it.
But when he GTS, like Heyman, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was great. It's like you finally got your hands on him. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
But the second match was, even though I'm not a huge fan of John Cena versus Daniel Bryan was great, because I really wanted Daniel Bryan to win. I mean, I like the fact that Randy cashed in. It's great.
Yeah, I mean.
But after what happened at WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan, with that 18-second thing, he kind of deserved to have a title.
The thing is, when Randy won Money in the Bank the other month, pardon me, sorry, I said straight afterwards that, straight after Randy won Money in the Bank, that he was going to cash it in at SummerSlam, and it was going to be at the expense of Daniel Bryan, and that would be their way of turning him.
But do you reckon he's going to last long with the title, or do you reckon?
Yeah, because of this whole, he's like a corporate challenge. He's a corporate champion now, isn't he? Really, a bit like The Rock was back in the day. It's kind of like that again. The Rock, where Randy's playing the role of The Rock in it, and Daniel Bryan, I think, is playing the role of Mick Foley. To be honest,
there are a lot of people saying he's like the old Stone Cold.
I think it's, yeah, but he doesn't have that attitude about him like Austin did. I think it's more of a Mick Foley underdog sort of thing. But yeah, I think he'll have it until Survivor Series, I would say at least. Maybe
I'd like to see them put it on Daniel Bryan, though.
I personally would like to see them keep them apart after Night of Champions until WrestleMania, and keep the belt on Randy all up to then. So it's about 8 months. Gives him a proper good run. And then Daniel Bryan finally gets the title. I think that would be the best way to end that whole feud. And it's the best payoff for Daniel Bryan to win the world title at WrestleMania.
It depends on how they're going to use it with the whole McMahon thing.
Yeah, it's too early. They could change it many times, but yeah, there's also the rumours of Ryback versus Goldberg, whether that happens or not. Goldberg's denying it, but he would do, wouldn't he?
But he said, like, there was reports that apparently his son is old enough to watch wrestling now, so he'd be something to go back to. Or something like that I was reading.
Can you say Goldberg's doing he's going to be at that comic?
Well, apparently he's supposed to, what I've read, I don't know if it's true, but he is supposed to be really good at WrestleCon, like highlighting. But that's only a rumour, I haven't seen anything on the website, so it might just be people talking, or wanting it to happen.
But overall, SummerSlam was a good pay-per-view. The pre-show, we just about got in time, because anyone that goes to Staples Centre for SummerSlam knows it's an absolute nightmare getting in. They open the doors about half an hour to start, and the doors are a joke. You have one door open, but there's 4 in total, but they're single doors, because the other side, you've got these security things as you go in. So it's an absolute nightmare, and when I got there, I had to empty out my blooming bag, which I got annoyed with.
Completely?
Which good job Chris noticed this. I dropped my SummerSlam ticket while I was having a go at the guy. It was Chris noticed it on the floor, otherwise I could have lost my ticket and it would have ruined everything. All because this knobhead wouldn't put his hand in my bag and look. The staff at Staples Centre are useless. And how much they charge you for 2 drinks and 2 hot dogs? $40. $40.
That's like 30 quid.
It's like, what is this, a restaurant?
It's like £30 odd, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's not very well run at
Staples.
The thing is, though,
at events, at the event arenas, they always charge you more because they know it's the only way you can
it's just the whole organisation of Staples Centre. It's a lot worse than the others. Also, to pick up your tickets, you have to do it 2 hours beforehand instead of the day before, whatever, like everyone else. Staples Centre seems to be the only one that you have to wait till 2 hours before the event. It's so backwards, that place. Yeah, we missed Dean Ambrose coming out, and we were just getting to the stairway to come down as Rob Van Dam's music hit, so we all went running forward down the stairs to see it, which was quite funny, everyone charging forwards, because there have been some people that probably missed that pre-show.
I was having trouble with it loading on my phone, on the app,
right,
because it just kept buffering all the time, but then when it finished buffering, it would skip back and then skip forward again. But I managed to watch it.
Yeah, there have been some people though that wouldn't have got in time because there was such a big queue outside.
But I don't understand. Usually they use like an hour before it starts.
The Staples Centre's about 30-40 minutes beforehand if you're lucky. I think they were trying to keep people happy by up on the balcony. You had Alicia Fox there, which I don't think she realised with that skirt on. She was exposing herself a bit there. But I wasn't complaining. But Rey Mysterio was up there as well, waving to everyone. But I just wanted to get in. I was sort of like scrumming myself in, like I was playing rugby or something. But yeah, it was a good show overall. Got to meet a few people I talked to on Twitter. Mario, Sandra, Amanda, Jess, who I've met before. I can't remember. It was Jess's friend Christian as well, and Sean, a few others. But yeah, it was a good weekend overall, got a bit learnt, but I am British, and I'm a bit on the pale side, so it was expected. Yeah,
I saw you a few times on TV.
Yeah, got on TV a few times, we've still got a shirt in, man, yeah. Managed to get Hayley's shirt on a few times, which was quite cool. Yeah, got my head on when Randy Orton was on the wait before turning around to come back before Triple H did the pedigree, which I missed the pedigree because I was watching what Randy was doing. All of a sudden I heard this roar, and as I turned, he's hit the ground with a pedigree, which is quite cool. I've put a few videos up on YouTube of the whole time there. I've still got a few more to put up. But yeah, that's basically it for this week. Talking about JR and SummerSlam. I'll be back next Sunday with Chris. We'll just talk about TNA and situations there with whole AJ Styles' contract running out soon, which would sum up TNA if he left. Yeah, cause he should have come to WWE a long time ago. Yeah, we'll talk more about that and Oasis Nates and what happened on last night's with Chessmaker. Which was nice to see her back on. Anyway, that's it for this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.